Hey there, and welcome to the movie library. So I've got a few things to talk about tonight. There's some news in the movie front, and in the some's a little distressing, some's really good. So we'll talk about that. I am going to be talking about this recent purchase right here, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and give you my thoughts on that film. I'm actually going to do a spoiler-filled review. I'm going to try and do it on this movie here called Things. If you're not familiar with this one, stay tuned. It's going to be an interesting chat. And what exactly did I get here for my birthday? You'll find that out too as well. Tonight, right here, in the movie library. Alright, so let's start off with kind of like the newsy-ish stuff to get that part of the way. Just recently, OPPO announced the... Not familiar with OPPO, they're kind of like a high-end like electronics company. They do Blu-ray and DVD players. A lot of people get them, and usually get them from certain sites that make them region-free. But they're considered like the premier, higher quality Blu-ray DVD player that's out there. I think they also do 4K players as well. Well, they did. They just recently announced that they're going to be halting production. So they're fulfilling any kind of manufacturer orders for 2018, but anything after that, it looks like there's not going to be any more coming out from OPPO. Screen Factory had a pretty big kind of like announcement today that I want to talk about. Well, actually, over the last couple days that I wanted to talk about, and for that I need my my iPad here for the pictures, because it's kind of cool. So remember a while back when the Piranha 2 was taken off of the was taken out of the mix, that they weren't going to be doing that, or that would be down the road. What looks like down the road is here, and they are once again working on Piranha 2, the Spawning, something that I'm really looking forward to checking out. Also, the It's Alive box set that they mentioned, they finally brought out the covers, and of course each one of these are going to have reversible covers as well. So if there's a cover you're not really set on, it's not set in stone, you can always turn the cover around and see what's on the other one. So here are the covers for the It's Alive films. I'm actually a huge fan of It's Alive. Now, on the Piranha things, well, I'm not sure how this will affect Piranha 2, but let's get into some Roger Corman news, actually. It just came out today that Shout Factory, it came out a few days back that Shout Factory had purchased the Roger Corman catalog. I've actually talked about that on here on a recent video. Now, there may be a little bit of snag in that. Roger Corman's sons are actually suing him and his wife over the rights of the film library that he sold. Basically, I think what's being said is that they're saying that the rights to some of those films were supposed to come to them, and they actually take they basically point out that they think this is their mother's doing. It's quite an interesting little tale. It'll be interesting to see how it works out from here. If this is going to hinder any sort of plans that Shout Factory may have with the Roger Corman titles. I was expecting some a really cool special editions, some follow-ups, and they even plan to do some remakes and stuff as well. So it was really interesting to see what they're going to do with the Roger Corman catalog, and it's going to be kind of I'm going to be kind of intrigued to find out exactly where that's going to go now, if there's going to be any sort of legal recourse that's going to tie it up for a bit. So right now it's just kind of a wait-and-see type of scenario. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not going to hamper Shout Factory's plans with Roger Corman's films too much, but I'm guessing that if it's going to be in any type of legal litigation, then basically what we're going to see is kind of like we have the Friday 13th right now, the Victor Miller suit, basically where it's there, but they may not be able to or may not want to touch it until they exactly know what is going on and how legitimate their rights to the library will be after the court case is settled. So hopefully that gets settled sooner rather than later. Alright, so what I want to talk about right now is Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So there's been a bit of controversy about the film and about the 4K release. Now, some 4K reviewers on here, I think guys like Brass Tacks and AR Media, Spare Change got dissed a bit in certain places for saying it wasn't a huge upgrade over the Blu-ray. As far as I can tell, it's I don't know if it's really a huge upgrade over the Blu-ray. It's a good transfer. But the Blu-ray if the Blu-ray transfer is the same, that's also a good transfer as well. I really enjoyed the film. I haven't like really compared the Blu-ray to the 4K, so I can't tell you exactly how that goes. I can say I do like brass tacks and AR media, so I guess I'm going to go with their word on that, because they really tend to be into this way more than I am at this point. And but the thing was that the 4K and the Blu-ray were the exact same price where we bought it at, and the Blu-ray and the 4K came together again with the Blu-ray bonus disc with features, which I'll talk about as well. And I enjoyed the viewing experience, the quality of the film. The audio was pretty good. I didn't find it as like Thor Ragnarok, which had good picture, had probably like the most underwhelming audio out of all the ones that I've out of all the 4Ks that I've seen so far. Now it's that's just me. Some people like had said Thor Ragnarok is like I put it at reference quality. I don't, but again, that's my opinion. The film itself, let's talk about that. So I am a huge Star Wars geek from back in the day. I've been following this thing since the beginning. And my grade school friend Clark, actually, I remember he saw Star Wars like over 7 times in the theater, night after night after night. We'd at a recess we'd get some sticks and we'd lightsaber, we'd battle, and my cousin Raj got the Millennium Falcon. I had the original Creature Cantina, the one from Sears, and it was so cool. But I had heard a lot of stuff going in about this one here. I heard that like hashtag not my Luke kind of stuff, and people talking about a character Rose that they really didn't like. So thoughts. The Last Jedi picks up right where the last film left off, The Force Awakens, and it's one of my favorites actually in the whole series. I am bothered by people online that will say, I'm not bothered, like opinions differ, whether you like the movie or you don't like the movie, that's one thing. What I don't like, I don't like, I can't dig, is basically when somebody comes in and says, real Star Wars fans hate this film. I'm about as real a Star Wars fan as you get, and no, we don't. I've seen the movies, read the books, and I even read those Han Solo books back in the day. Remember those? My cousin actually had like a 3-pack of them. They were yikes. Oh, we got no respect. They were kind of cool, but I love the film. It got everything right, in my opinion. As for Luke's character, man, I know Mark Hamill had some like apprehension going in on like taking the Luke character in this direction. However, Luke is one of these super like hopeful characters throughout the original franchise, and in my opinion, it wouldn't be realistic after everything that's been set up to happen for him to maintain that wide-eyed hope and exuberance. He had to get that back. He had to become the Luke of old, and I'm going to go through spoilers and stuff in this thing, just know that right at the gate. He does. I mean, like, he's not that Luke that we're used to seeing, but a lot has happened. It's been a long time since the Return of the Jedi, and a lot's happened with him, with Kylo Ren, with Ben, and of course with losing a hand. There's a tremendous amount of weight on Luke's shoulders, and this Mark Hamill knocks this out of the park. He really, really does a great performance in this role. He's an amazing job. Anybody that says this isn't Luke Skywalker, this isn't the way Luke Skywalker would act, I disagree vehemently. I get that word right. I disagree with you, very, very much so. And you can have that opinion. Just don't try and call out my Star Wars fan cred because I don't agree with you, and I won't try to do that to you as well. But no, they did a great job. Daisy Ridley, not as much focus really on hers, and there is a focus in a way. I mean, like there's between her and Kylo Ren, there's a really great scene, like a throne room scene in the Red Room. Everybody knows that scene. It's a fantastically done scene. I saw it coming a mile away when the big thing happens, and I better half didn't actually. So I'm proud of that. She usually gets them before I do, but I knew that Snoke was going to be no more. Some people complained about the fact that Daisy Ridley's Rey's parents didn't turn out to be like some gigantic revelation. This wasn't like people went in. I think they saw The Force Awakens, and that was very much like a mirror image, kind of a parallel of what the original Star Wars was. And they really needed to do that when it came to The Force Awakens. They did, because a lot of goodwill had been lost on the prequel series. People really needed to see Star Wars come back and be what it once was, what it used to be. But it still needed to have its own identity. It still needed to forge its way forward. This, I think, was expected to be like, you know, just like Empire Strikes Back. And some people say, oh, it's the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy. And other people say it's not the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy because it doesn't have the emotional resonance that the original Empire Strikes Back has. And on that point, I definitely agree. It's not the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy. I don't think it should be the Empire Strikes Back. I think that once we got the original, like, Force Awakens out of the way, and there's been like Rogue One, kind of to give you a feel of the expanded universe, the extended universe, and now they can do their own thing. You got the original characters; they're kind of following a storyline that had gone on before, but they're bringing in newer characters. They're expanding the universe. They're making it its own thing, and this one very much does become its own thing. It's not copying off. It's not safely copying off of Empire Strikes Back in much the way The Force Awakens would copy off of the original Star Wars: A New Hope. It doesn't go the way. Rian Johnson does some risky things, and so people were peeved about some things. I'm going to just mention a couple of them right now and my thoughts on these things. I did not expect, and I didn't want, like, backstory on the character Snoke in this film here. The film is 154 minutes long. We did not need more of that added in. There are expanded universe movies that they're doing, and if they're smart down the road, people are interested in that character, they can do kind of a prequel type of movie, kind of a movie where basically we get to see the history of his character. Making it like a throwaway 5 or 10 minute sequence within this film would have been a horrible idea, and I completely disagree with people who thought that we should have found out more about this character. I think this is a character that we can delve into and find out more about his history down the road, whether that'll be through maybe like a prequel film, through maybe a TV or animated series or books or comic books. Either way, there's a lot of places to take him. All of those would have been stopped dead in their tracks if they would have like shoved something in here just to do fan service. As for like the Rey parents controversy, I actually think it's a good idea not to have her like be someone that's like super established within the Star Wars universe. And that being said, you know, they still might go in that direction. I don't think that they need to, though. I think that kind of the whole idea is that it can be anyone, that you don't have to be somebody that's a princess from somewhere, or you don't have to be like a secret. You don't have to be like a secret. Just check my phone. Don't have to have a secret like a relationship where it ends with a gigantic revelation. Sometimes you're just the one. There's a great line in this where Ben says to Rey, says, "You're nobody, but you're not nobody to me," and that there does 10 times what having her say she's Luke's secret daughter would do. In my opinion, it really develops the two characters that are on the screen that you're going to follow forward. It develops Rey, it develops Kylo. It just does such a great job with both of these characters, and that made it for me. That really helped like establish these, you know, the two sides of the coin, what these characters, where these characters were headed, where you wanted them to head, and the heartbreaking thing that Kylo Ren would do. Big spoiler alert here. Some people were bothered by the fact that Luke was pretty much it was killed off, but he was killed off in an heroic way. This is Star Wars. Alec Guinness died in the original Star Wars, and of course got to come back again. So Luke can do much the same thing. We may see Force Ghost Luke in the next film. I kind of expect that. And with that being said, this also has a special feature bonus disc. It has a 95-minute making a feature on Star Wars. It's amazing. You get to see Mark Hamill's like going through the motions of coming to grips with the character and how he is now. You get to see Carrie Fisher as a Princess Leia, and sadly, you can tell that she is that she is sick. But she is having a ball. She's having a blast with this film here. I think it's kind of disrespectful for people who bitch about the fact that, oh, I can't believe she went out on this film. She looks like she's having a blast, and she's super proud of the film that she did. So that really bothers me when I see people online saying stuff like that. They want to take their dislike of a film and like put it into this actress's legacy and like want to diss her or diss the film. That really bugs me. And if I see any comments like that down below, I'm not gonna lie, those will be immediately deleted, because I'm all for like free opinion and that, but when it comes to disrespecting an actress in her final film, I do not take that lightly. I'm a huge fan of Carrie Fisher, actually, and she was an amazing actress. And although she rebelled against her parents in some ways, Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, she had an incredible voice. I saw this documentary on her and her mom actually a while back, and during that they showed the scene of her singing, and her voice it's heart-stoppingly fantastic. The documentary would be worth it alone. I would have paid $25 for the documentary on its own, but the documentary, the disc itself, the movie, I love this movie. I thought this was one of the better Star Wars movies in my opinion. Totally agree with you, Linkara. This is a really good one. Check this out. Don't let the negativity online like sway you away from it. And if you didn't like this movie, don't take it as a personal affront or some type of attack from me. Each person has their own opinion. You may have liked it, you may have not liked it. Either way, I mean, but give it a chance. And if you've seen it and you only saw it in theater and you're not quite sure, give it another chance. Watch it. If you saw it in theater, before you watch it again, watch that documentary. I'm telling you, you will get more respect for Rian Johnson and everybody that worked on this film after watching this documentary. It is incredible, and they do such a great job. You can tell how much he respects what he's doing. I was really surprised to see the director of Looper being the guy that directed the new Star Wars film, but I do feel right now that the new trilogy that he's doing, it's in good hands. I'll be right back, and we're going to talk about a different type of movie experience, a Canadian one by the name of Things. I'm a big fan of exploitation, and I'm a really big fan of bad films. I'm kind of a connoisseur of them. So when Severin had their big sale last Black Friday, one of the things that I knew I had to pick up was a film that was a exploitation film, and that's better known as this, Things. Now, I've talked about and shown many different B/Z grade films on my channel. We've talked about things like Troll 2. I've talked about movies like I've mentioned movies like The Room. I've actually, I haven't done a really good Ed Wood retrospective. I got to do that down the road. Talk about Plan 9 from Outer Space. A lot of Orgy of the Dead, a lot of the cool stuff that Ed Wood both wrote and directed. And I've never, ever talked about a movie as ineptly done, as bad as the one I'm about to talk about right now. Things. I kind of know what you're thinking. You're thinking, you've seen The Disaster Artist. You've seen The Room. How can anything get worse than that? You've watched Troll 2. Maybe you've seen best worst movie. Maybe you've seen some of the kind of the really lower budget stuff. Maybe you've seen Samurai Cop and thought, no, it can't get any worse than that. Yeah, it really can. Watching this movie and the acting in this film will have you longing for the pure thespian work of Tommy Wiseau. What can I tell you about the film? It's insane. The acting is extremely bad. The set is pretty much it's a cheap film. It's a very cheap film. Okay, basically, this guy comes up to a cabin, like a little house in the woods type of thing, with his friend to see his brother. His brother's wife is expecting. Basically, we find out that he can't have a baby. They can't have kids, but somehow they've talked to this doctor, or like in town, that's doing the experimental stuff. So I'm actually explaining this much better than it's shown in the film. So they go through this experimental procedure to have a child. Well, that's what we kind of find out along the way. At the beginning of the film, what we see is a naked girl in a devil mask, and a guy saying basically that he wants to sleep with her. He wants her to have his baby. I want you to have my baby. I want you to have my baby. I want you to have my baby. And the plot gets basically, she dies, creatures come out of her belly, really bad looking creatures come out of her belly. Really, really, really bad looking creatures come out of her belly. It seems like there's one, but apparently no, there's lots of them. It becomes a big fight with these three guys, each one, I don't know, striving to act worse than the other person, until you get the nirvana of bad acting when the doctor shows up near the end of the film. I kid you not, when the doctor shows up near the end of this movie, it is probably the worst acting I have ever seen on celluloid ever. It is so bad that you almost want, like, acting is being, if there's any other actors or any like acting talent within about 100-mile radius, it's being sucked out. It's like this black hole of non-acting ability that's coming through in this film. Now, that being said, should you watch things? Yes, my God. If you like bad movies, if you like Z-grade movies, you definitely got to see this. Amber Lynn, if you're familiar with films, with adult films, Amber Lynn does a role in this movie that makes no sense. Basically, it's padding, and she's like a news reporter. So she's basically saying, like, she's padding at the film. So they hired an actress famous for some very, very famous adult films, and they kept her fully clothed, reading news. I'm not kidding you. There's her, and I'm guessing that her scenes were probably shot. They look like they're shot somewhere else. Maybe she even like shot the scenes herself and actually like sent them into them, because that's what it looks like. Because her scenes are actually better shot than the other scenes in the film. There's even a sequence where basically she's apparently in the studio with this other newscaster who's in a different studio, 110%, and the quality of what he's saying and his audio and the quality of her audio are completely different. She's like clear. She's photographed like decently. You know, you can see her. She's in a completely different area than the other newscaster is in. This guy is sitting down at a desk. The sound is really bad in his scenes, like really bad audio. But definitely see this movie. It is so bad, you'll have a blast. There were a couple times with my better half, and she suffered this one with me. She was like, "Is it over yet? Is it over yet?" But you got to see this. You just have to. It is bafflingly bad. Bafflingly bad. I already told my kids this one we're watching together. It's a new cheesy classic that we have got to see. This is not like got a ton of features on here. So it's got 2 audio commentaries, one with the director and the star. Director and star wrote the film and they produced the film, and a couple of the other stars from the film. So it'll be interesting to see an audio viewing party with Cinefamily. So some people watching the film and testimonials on things. So that's where it baffled me, because Tobe Hooper is interviewed in this. So when we looked at the back of this box cover after watching the film, we had to go and check out the testimonial by Tobe Hooper, because we could not believe that the guy that wrote Texas Chainsaw Massacre and directed it was going to be like talking about how this was a favorite film of his. He did not buy that at all. And so we went and we looked at it, and what it is that the director kind of got Tobe Hooper at a convention and asked him to watch his trailer. And basically said, you know, this is a film. It's not the best film. It's like, it's a cult film. It's become a bit of a classic now. And, you know, gets him off guard and gets like Tobe Hooper's like basic response. Boy, Tobe Hooper's a nice guy. He's going to give him like he's going to say props, say some nice stuff to him. But it's far from a testimonial. Tobe Hooper talking about what a fantastic film this is. No, it's an on the spot type of thing where basically he says, you know, this is my film. Here's a trailer from my film, and you know, this is what we did. It's now a cult film, so it kind of corners them into it. A little bit of a cheat there, but it's definitely interesting to check out. Tobe is, of course, is such a sweet guy, and he gives them some props, because, you know, what's he gonna say? Also, they say testimonies from Jason Eisner and Rob Cottrell from Who Did Hope with a Shotgun, Conexploitation.com creator Paul Koropy, which I actually got to check out because this is Conexploitation, so he would know about it, and Anniversary Reunion, Behind the Scenes with Starry Amber Lynn. I got to watch a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of features on here. So for a really cheesy movie, this one's not expensive either. It's a fairly cheap release on Severin. You can pick it up anytime, and I think I got it during the sale. I got it for way under $10. So, and that's Canadian prices, so definitely one to look up for things. It's really, really unique. All right, so if you've seen my Instagram, then you already know what this is, but if you haven't, then this is another addition to my retro gaming collection. There's another thing that I want to pick up this week. Hopefully it's still there. So I went up to Atomic Records. It was on my birthday. Had a 20% off coupon, which, you know, to get sent out to my messenger for my birthday. So I wanted to go up and check some stuff. My better half bought a ton of stuff with the 20% off coupon. She got like a huge 23-inch like Voltron figure that was made of like of 5 or 6 different figures. That's in our office right now. She got a Cthulhu, like a mini little Cthulhu for office, and what was the other thing she got? Can't remember right now, but if I remember in my next video, I'll let you guys know. But me, I grabbed one retro gaming thing, and this is going to give you kind of a big hint to what it is right here. If you can see that under the glare, and that says Nintendo DS, but which one is it? I've got a Nintendo Game Boy Advance that was given to me by my kids. So you open this up here, and the first thing you see is, well, there's a pocket right here for like three games. My better half really likes this style, by the way, for this thing. And on the other side, there's 2 other styluses, which I really dig. And here's the pouch for the DS. Now, this isn't the original DS. This is the DS Lite. This is the one that I wanted to get. They had a couple different models there, but I wanted this one. This is a lime green DS Lite. If you remember with the DS Lite, you're going to know that it's basically a really neat system. It's backwards compatible, so you take this out here, and this is where the Game Boy Advance games go. So give you, say if you got a Game Boy Advance, you know the backlight isn't the greatest on that, so you're going to be you're going to want to have something like this where it has a nice backlight. You get to play your DS games, you get to play your Game Boy Advance games. Really, really cool stuff. You open it up here, and I just do turn the sound down because you want to get like flag by Nintendo there. So this is the DS Lite. Of course, it's a cool little system. I'm going to turn it off here now. Please turn off the like this. I want to get an original Game Boy as well, and down the road get like a either a 3DS or the new 2DS to kind of have like a few of the different Game Boys, and if I can find an SP down the road, much like the way that I'm getting most of the consoles, the Nintendo consoles, I want to get like a collection of the different Game Boy Set it right there. So I didn't get any games with this one this time around. I just grabbed this. I got a couple Game Boy Advance games, but I need to get some DS games. Now, let's talk. I have some stuff coming up. Should be this week. I was going to do my complete, very small but complete indicator collection, but with a little bit of money left over for my birthday money, one of the indicator box sets, one of the Ray Harryhausen ones, actually came on sale on Amazon.ca for like an crazy cheap price, and we hemmed and hawed on it for a bit, and then we grabbed it. Last of the birthday money. This is my last birthday present that I have, like that I bought recently. I also got the Vinegar Synonyms coming. They just got sent out on the they were processed on the 30th. By the 1st, they already cleared customs here in Canada, and so they're on their way now. So hopefully they should get here very soon. So I'm going to have Vinegar Synonym packs to show you. I got an indicator, Ray Harryhausen set, and I can tell you which one it is. You'll find that out. But the thing is that after we bought the set, I mean directly after, as in like 30 seconds later, I guess we got the last one that was on sale. This was from Amazon. It wasn't from a seller, and it was a new copy. It wasn't like it went up, and by went up, I mean it went up double the price. So we checked back right afterwards just to make sure that we'd gotten the right price on it, because it doubled. It was over about over $120 probably with taxes in is what it would have been in Canadian. But this was less than half that when with what we got it for, and we're very excited to get that. We are huge fans of the indicator box sets. They put out such great stuff. If you haven't checked out Indicator yet, you really should. One of my upcoming videos, my versus ones that I told you that I'm going to do, it's an obvious one, and I'm going to put these two guys up against each other because I think, and I'm going to give you a little bit of to give you a little taste of it right now, and that is going to be Indicator versus Twilight Time. This is going to be one that both of these companies have some very strong fan bases. I have a very definitive answer on which one wins this one. I know already, and I've done a bit of as always with these versus videos. They're my opinion. I do a bit of research on the films. I look at the films in my collection that I have from each company. I look at the way that I look at their the way that they handle things. I'm going to be looking at the films, what they put into the releases, basically customer service, how I think each company has done in dealing with the public as well, and that's going to be something that's going to make a difference in the way that this one turns out. So some people are going to be like very glad by it. It's not going to be that long a video, I don't think. Some of these versus ones are actually going to go fairly quickly. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do them within the movie library, like a vlog, like I'm doing right here tonight, or I should do it within its own with its own little video space. So you guys comment in the section down below. Tell me if you want these versus videos kind of to be on their own, or do you want them to be part of like a longer vlog type of video where basically it's surrounded with a bunch of other things that I'm talking about, like I do here tonight. These are my favorite type of videos to do right here. I like to like kind of diversify and talk about a lot of different things. I can talk about like movies, I can talk about gaming, I can shove a review in there for people that like the review section of my videos. What I try to do is I don't try to limit a lot of my videos into one space. I find that when I do that a lot, what happens is that it kind of, I feel like I'm boxed in a bit. I can be a bit long-winded. Actually, somebody said that in a comment. They were saying it jokingly. Said you can get a little bit long-winded at times, but jokingly or not, that was totally true. I can. That's my better half. I can talk, and that's why these videos here can tend to be a little bit longer. But that being said, I'm also the perfect type of guy for a podcast because I can talk, and I am extremely excited and excitable about a lot of the things that I talk about. That being said, we have one more thing to do tonight, and guys, welcome once again to the C-section. So it's a bit of a smaller C-section tonight. I actually responded to all these, so it makes it a little bit harder, because what I'll usually do is I won't respond until I have to respond on camera. But I was up one night and I just wanted to get like my written responses out there, because I really do appreciate everybody that writes in and gives a comment. That means a lot to me. I'm starting to use Twitter a bit more now, so as I do, I'll let you guys know, and maybe I'll do up a special Twitter account for this here YouTube channel, to keep it from my my personal account. You don't want to hear me like talking about like my angry like politics and stuff like that. It's boring stuff for you guys. You want to hear me talk about movies, so I'll probably do one especially for that down the road. So here we go. JC's Horror Show says, how about that? My birthday is today, Friday. Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a fantastic birthday on Friday. Your collection content is amazing. Love your channel. My only criticism is that you can be a bit long-winded at times, but I'm sure your better half has told you that. I'm only kidding. Actually, she has. She tells me that all the time. It's something that I'm very aware of. So you may be joking, but it's true. It's as Kurt Angle would say, it's damn true. Keep up the great work. Lots of knowledge, Professor. Have a great birthday. Thanks a lot. The Professor and moniker kind of stuck, didn't it? That all came from like I was doing a live stream with some great friends, and I used to love doing the live stream. So here where I'm at right now, I can't do those, but I'm hoping to get in on some live stream stuff and live stream myself a bit more when we get into the new place. So you can expect to hopefully see, fingers crossed, a lot more content and a lot more consistency to my channel as well. Next up is Stephanie Crawford, and Stephanie I actually spoke to on Twitter as well. Now, I gotta say, like right at the gate, like full disclosure, I'm a huge fan of Stephanie Crawford. I will listen to the Screamcast. I've actually listened to a few podcasts that she's been on. She's really knowledgeable, and she likes a lot of the same type of films that I like. She has the same type of feelings towards cinema that I do. So I did geek out a little bit, knowing that that's Miss Crawford. Stephanie was actually watching my my videos. It was cool. It was cool, and I actually told my my better half, I was like, you know, this person that I actually listen to, like in different podcasts, so I look forward to listening to, actually was watching my videos. Blew me away. Made my day, to be totally honest with you. So Stephanie said, happy birthday, that's an awesome haul, and congratulations on your move. Video showing you put your collection back together would be awesome if not too difficult to film. That's the good thing about the new... Only on live can you get that. YouTube, see, this is why YouTube is the new TV. This is, gotta have stuff like that. Just watch somewhere, if enough people watch this, one of these days this will end up in like some kind of blooper reel video. So yeah, I'm actually thinking of that. So the creation of the new movie library and like seeing things come in and things being put back together is something that's going to be much more possible in the new place. Soon we got the internet and everything set up well. It's going to be, again, fingers crossed, kind of a high-speed fiber optic internet is what we're looking to get. So, and I think that's pretty much what's available in that area. Like that's the high. We're going to go for that because what we got here is super slow. So that's going to make that possible. I'm going to do my best to a video like that and like let you guys see the library, like see how I get things put back together. Kind of. Some people ask how I organize my movies. That we're going to get really into that, and got some good stuff coming up. So keep an eye on the channel and hit the notification bell, because every time you may watch a video here, you may watch a video there, but there may be certain videos that you want to see, and really the notification bell and just checking back is really the only way to see, because a lot of people aren't finding the videos now the way they used to. All right, Shale Trez, okay. Yeah. My friend from Germany. Happy birthday, Aaron, or I'm going to totally butcher this. I did do a year of German, by the way, but I'm still going to butcher it. Alles gut zum Geburtstag. How's that? Is that okay? Anybody knows German can let me know how off I was on the pronunciation. From Germany. Chris, great haul, and what a start into collecting indicator with those two beautiful hammer sets. Mirror Odyssey is also a real gem. Hope you do a first impression video quite soon. I'm actually going to talk about that next. So far, I only put more playtime into Splatoon 2, but I'm stuck right now in A+. Don't think I'll ever get the S+ territories, but the Switch is really killing it now with Smash Bros. On the rise, and I think they will keep the momentum going. Enjoy your birthday weekend and keep care. So I'll tell you right now, my thoughts on Super Mario Odyssey. People said it's the successor to Super Mario 64. I was iffy on that, and then I started playing it, and it is the successor to Super Mario 64. It is a fantastic game. There's a lot of replay value in the game through the two-player mode, just the different like side quests and all the things collect. It's just a fantastic game. I'm loving it, and I'll get into it more in depth in another video. But needless to say, Chris, this is a game that I'm really glad that I have. I think Splatoon 2 and ARMS are the two that I want to get next. There's David Bryant. Hope you have a great birthday. Have that Freight Night UK Eureka Blu-ray. It's a great release and terrific film. It is. It's really good. Also have happy birthday to me, but on the budget Mill Creek release along with the Stranger Calls. Transfer's not bad, but imagine not a patch on the indicator release. Actually, that's true. I've watched a couple of the releases on Blue through my online rental service. I watched Oz Lower Mars. I need that. And Hardcore. I've got a DVD of the Hardcore. I really need to upgrade that one. Starring George C. Scott. They were both really good transfers. Anyway, have a good one, buddy. Thanks, David. So the Happy Birthday to Me release is fantastic. Now, if you had the older release of Happy Birthday to Me, I got the Blu-ray release from Mill Creek. I don't remember it well. I got it on a double feature. Did you say the double feature was there? I think it's When a Stranger Calls, right? Yeah, When a Stranger Calls. You did say that. And I'm not sure if it was that release or the release that I had before Happy Birthday to Me. There's a DVD release, and it has a different audio, a different like score to the film. It's more tech disco, like it's not the greatest score. Now, one of the cool things about the new indicator release, it gives you the original score to the film, which is a really good orchestral score. It's actually a really fun film. My better half is a little peeved about the ending. Thought it was a bit of a cheat. I'll get into that I'm going to review the film in a future video. But it gives you the choice to actually listen to that controversial score that was put on just for that DVD release. And I'm not sure if it went over to the Mill Creek Blu-ray release or not. But it's a score that was not liked by a lot of people. But at least Indicator gives you the option of listening to it with its original score or the updated score that they did for the newer release. There's also a commentary on there as well by the Hysteria Continues guys, and a booklet which is freaking fantastic. Indicator things, their booklets are amazing. I know some people, a good friend of mine, Ken, wants the Hammer movies, but he wants to get them separately rather than the box set. I guess maybe the box sets are going to be too expensive. He just has some of the films and doesn't want some of the others. So Ken, one thing that I do have to stress is if you're into the booklets, the releases down the road, their re-releases, won't have the booklets. So that's something to think about with the indicator stuff, because they are substantial booklets. If booklets don't matter to you, have at it and wait. But if booklets do matter to you, and they have some bigger booklets from 24 pages to 40 pages with some great writing in there, not too small for my eyes here, so that's fantastic as well. Some great pictures, some great writing, some cool write-ups, really great. And I do recommend the Happy Birthday to Me release. If you haven't got it, definitely get it before it runs out, before the booklet's gone. Next up is another Dave, the Mentalist Dave. Happy belated birthday, mate. Loving your videos. I got to get some of the indicator stuff. My problem at the time is there's just so much great stuff out there. My budget is limited. Me too. I've been focusing on Arrow, 88 Films, and Vinegar Syndrome. Code Red are crazy expensive, so I tend to avoid them. Really appreciate these in-depth videos, man. Keep up the good work. Peace. I'm going to make sure I did it right. Peace. So anyway. Yeah, definitely. I completely understand. Did you get Blood Harvest? I meant to put this in my newsy type section that I do, but apparently Blood Harvest, there's been some like issues with it. There's been kind of like a cease and desist letter coming out. So if you don't have Blood Harvest from 88 Films, you might want to jump on that and get that one now before it's gone. Here it's being pulled from sites and stuff like that. If I had the money, trust me, I'd be grabbing Blood Harvest myself right now. I'm a huge fan of the film. Me and my oldest would watch that. We had like the old retro. I think it was Retro Media put that originally. The Retro Media edition of that one, and I know all about like Marvelous Mervo. So that was it's a really, really cool one. You are focusing on some really great companies there. If you get a chance to get some indicator, I do recommend it. Just watch for some stuff when it's on sale. Grab only the ones that you really want. For me, the most wanted indicator right now that I don't have is probably blue collar, which may seem like an odd choice, but I'm a writer as well, and screenwriter is one of the things that that's on my resume. Paul Schrader, who did films like Taxi Driver, made the movie Blue Collar, and I think it's kind of like done like a commentary on there, but he did kind of like this master class that he wrote about screenwriting, and it's kind of like a condensed master class on the Blue Collar Blu-ray. That's one that I really, really want. It's something that I would love to have. But let me know if you got that. If you managed to get that the Blood Harvest film. I heard that VCI is putting it out, but they can't use the Blood Harvest title, so they're putting it out under I think Nightmare and the Tiny Tim Show or something like that. It's got a really weird name. Bushman Blue, hey. Says, happy late birthday, Aaron. Fantastic presents from your family. You're moving again. The stress of it. Still need to get Dr. Terror. It's really cheap in the UK, so I have no excuse. Have that Fright Night and the Hammer box set, Volume 1. Fantastic set. Still need 2. Have you seen the new Western box that they're releasing? Good luck in your move, my friend. Looking forward to more Hammer Amicus videos from you. Thanks, mate. And yes, there is more Hammer Amicus videos coming up, both reviews and verses. It's taken a lot of research and a lot of watching for the upcoming Hammer versus Amicus video, so I hope you guys watch that. It's probably the hardest work that I'm putting into any video that I've done. The set is Dr. Terror is a fantastic one. It's got like it's got a 1 hour long making of, like talking about the film itself, kind of like looking back on it. There's a Christopher Lee thing. I've mentioned this many times, and there's a Freddie Francis commentary. Just some great stuff. Definitely worth getting. Pick it up. It's a fantastic one. Hammer Volume 1 is a great set. Volume 2, I'm going to be honest with you, it's more in depth. The features were a little shorter on Volume 1. They were good. They were concise. But the booklet's definitely made up for, like, where features seemed to lack a little bit. The booklet's kind of made up for it. So you got like you felt like you got a full package. The transfers were fantastic. Volume 2, even better. Features, they get a little bit more robust. Again, you got these fantastic booklets there as well. Great like cover art and alternate cover art type of thing. Cash on Demand is such a great film. I like The Snorkel. Just so many good films there that I'm going to talk about, be able to review down the road, and really get into it. I do recommend getting that second Hammer volume, Criminal Intent. It's really, really good. And as for the Western box set, I'm very familiar with it, and it's going to actually come into play. I don't want to talk about it too much right now, but it's going to come into play in my Indicator versus Twilight Time video. Okay, Savannah, and I hope I get your last name right, McGrancy. No, Savannah is from Australia. We actually had a little conversation here on YouTube, and said, look at all your movies, I'm impressed. And so we just talked about like buying like online or from shops, and we both talked about the fact that we like buying in shops like best, but the way things are going right now, it's really hard to find things in local shops, so I tend to get more of my stuff now from online. Now, if there's a brick and mortar store that carries the type of stuff in the area, or if I'm in an area that has that, I will go there first. If I was in London, for instance, I would be taking a weekly trip, probably a bi-weekly trip to FOP, and then going to HMV and supporting both those places. If you live in an area where there's a FOP or an HMV, if you're in London, if you're in Covent Gardens area, for instance, or if you go by there, check out the FOP in Covent Gardens. They are fantastic. They are great people. Recommend them every time that I'm on here. They do some great stuff. I bought a ton of stuff from them. I brought back a bunch of stuff from my trip to London directly from FOP. I also checked out the big HMV there, and again, great people, great stuff, really, really worth it. But right now, Shannon, most of it's online, but and again, like you, I'm pretty obsessive about like trying to make sure that I get the best. If I'm in a store and there's like multiple copies, I will check to make sure that it's not rattling, that there's no like breaks in the disc type of thing, because you never know. Movie Mac, all right. Hey Aaron, happy birthday, great stuff you got there. I don't have that release of Fright Night, but that's on my list of pickups. The only thing about it I don't like is that you don't get the whole "You're So Cool" Brewster documentary. It's not on there, just part of it, but I'm still getting it though. Now the way that's done, and I'm pretty sure that this is the way it is. You can probably see like the documentary on like one of the streaming sites like Shudder, but you really should have it as a Fright Night fan. Now, very much in the way that when Arrow put out the Hellraiser set, there was a big documentary called Leviathan, and they had like specially like edited like the Leviathan, and they did it for each of the Hellraiser films. And it was actually better because I did like the Leviathan documentary, and I did see the unedited one, but editing was needed a bit. It needed to be tightened. And in my opinion, anyway, that's my thought on that. That would need to be tightened. Now, this one here, "You're So Cool" Brewster, runs at 146 minutes long, so it's not a short documentary. I do think that pretty much what they took out is the stuff in reference to Part 2, Fright Night 2, which once that comes out on Blu-ray, I'm sure we're going to get to see that portion of the documentary as a bonus feature on Fright Night 2, whichever company is lucky enough and smart enough to put that out. And at this point, I'm really hoping it's Eureka, because they did a great job with Fright Night. They just knocked it at the park. They blew Twilight Time's like edition out of the water, and I do have the Twilight Time one. It's a fantastic edition. It's just that documentary, the extra stuff that they put into it, it's fantastic, man. Mark Strano, don't know if you have, but you should do a review of the Friday the 13th Blu-ray franchise and Phantasm. Now, I have talked about both of these on here before. That being said, I'm a huge Phantasm fan. I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. You just knocked it out of the park with two of my favorite franchises of all time. I will be going back and looking into both of these franchises in depth, and I usually do something like this around Halloween time, but depending on like what I've got coming up for Halloween, you're going to see me going in depth with Friday the 13th and Phantasm. In my area, I am known as a bit of a buff for both of those franchises. Bit of a freak for the Friday the 13th stuff. Now, I got to go back here because there was a comment made about from Kotobayaka, I hope I got the name right, 70, who basically took me to task for for not liking for basically on the Blu-ray in 4K and type of verses, and we talked about it, and he's a huge fan of like we're both collectors, and I think he came in on my 4K one and thought that I wasn't much of a Blu-ray fan type of thing. He thought maybe didn't get my my true feelings on it, and we did talk in there afterwards. He said, "Oh, that's fair enough." And we had a really good conversation, by the way. And he just mentioned that on the 4P front, since you love 80s horror as much as I do, Silent Scream's out from Ronin Flicks. You blind bought this because 80s slasher flicks are the safest when it comes to blind buys. I gotta agree with that. I love 80s slasher flicks. I'm always on the hunt for a new one. Silent Scream is one I used to have on VHS back in the day. Actually, I think I might have gotten it from. If you're old enough to remember a place called Video Search Miami, they sent out like a catalog, and a lot of films that at the time like they weren't on VHS. It was back in the VHS days. You just had to like, if you wanted a movie, you wanted an uncut version of a movie, $25, bam, you got like you got it from Video Search Miami, and it would come like usually in like a colored paper wrapper with like the name and the year on it and the director and a description on the back. Pretty much plain. Aside from that, you pay $25, you get a film sometimes in questionable quality. Silent Scream was one of those films actually that I got back in the day. So I really would like to check that out. Now I got to check out Ronin Flicks, see what their shipping is like. I won't be able to get it anytime in the near future, unfortunately, but I'm glad that you put it on my radar because it's a film that I do want to have in my collection. I did like it when I originally saw it, but moving is costly. And especially after we moved literally a year ago. We've been moving a year ago from the day that we moved. but we're getting closer into town. You're going to get more consistency with my videos. Hopefully you're going to like that as well, and hopefully you're going to get a few more videos from me per week, where sometimes you're going to see weeks when there's no videos at all. It's going to be very different. Very soon I'm going to be packing up the movie library here. I'm going to have a few things left out, so it's going to look a little bit more sparse, guys, as I start to do this. But I'm leaving a couple things out, maybe a couple TV box sets and some of my some other box sets of movies and that I'm going to watch over the next few weeks while I'm still here. So guys, again, I want to thank you so much for joining me here in the movie library tonight. I've had a fantastic night with you guys. Thanks for joining me here in the C section. Thanks for everybody that commented. If you see a podcast with Stephanie Crawford on it, definitely check it out. She is amazing on podcasts. She does a great job. She's a writer, comedian. She's a fantastic person. Check out Stephanie Crawford. And if you're not subbed to the Screamcast podcast, do so immediately. They do a great job with their podcast. I need tea so bad, you have no idea. It's one of those nights where my throat is just ready to go. I was actually talking with my better half earlier. We've been following kind of like a controversy that's been going online about a particular channel that I don't really get into, like kind of the drama stuff online or politics or any of that stuff, because I figure my channel is meant to be an escape from all that stuff. So when you want the drama stuff, there's other channels for that do an amazingly fantastic job of doing that stuff. That being said, I know that I could talk about the YouTube drama and stuff like that, and that would definitely up some of my viewership. From some people that probably don't watch the normal, like the movie stuff. That's kind of a niche topic that I got here, but I'm pretty much gonna stick out of it. I'm just like shocked by some of the stuff that's gone on by a particular company and the way that they treated some of their producers. So there's some great videos on that, and I'm sure there's a 65-page document, Google Doc, that's definitely worth checking out. And if you're online, I think it's I think Alison Pregler, who you guys may know as Obscura Lupa, did the put out the document on her Twitter, so you might want to check there if you want to find out more information on that type of stuff. But for me, that's like I gave the kernel knowledge. Just go check it out yourselves and see what you think about all of it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me here tonight in the movie library. Have a great evening, and I'll see you guys very, very soon.